What is up, Sooner Nation? I am Casey Mallon, and you are now, come on, get with me in a Sooner state of mind. Make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. Some folks trust to reason, others trust to might. I don't trust in nothing, but I know it come out right. Sooner state of mind, family. What is good? Tonight is a night for a Sooner state of mind first. We're going to open the show talking about OU men's hoops. Season has been absolutely brutal. We've been stacking excruciatingly painful losses back to back to back to back and so on. So when I turned on the game today and hit the old watch key plays to catch up live on the YouTube TVs there, I got to halftime with our Sooners up by 14. Pleasant surprise. But as we've seen this season, no lead is safe with these Sooners. But then I watched OU extend that lead to 21. Starting to feel a little bit safer. But I've been burned before, so I wasn't going to put this game in the fridge. I know better at this point. But then we're still up by 21 with under 10 minutes to go. Now, of course, there was a little squirming, but we had a 20-point lead with under 5 minutes to play. It has got to be safe, right? Right? Fast forward. Fast forward a little bit. 86-72. 151 left in the game. We are good, my friends. Throw it in the fridge. The 9-game losing streak is over. And then I'm starting to let the see how well this team can play thoughts creep into my head. Starting to think about all the what ifs. Starting to dream about a magical run to the tourney. Mind's playing tricks on me, people. Then it was a Vandy 3, a missed OU free throw, a turnover, a Vandy bucket, an OU free throw, a Vandy 3. Whoa! Wait a minute now. OU lead down to 7 with just 49 seconds left. Pretty good shape, right? A Vandy free throw, an OU free throw, a Vandy 2, an OU turnover, 2 more Vandy free throws. What the hell are we talking about now? That OU lead that was once 21 is down to 3 with 29 seconds left in the game. Are you kidding me? And at this point, I've done a complete 180 back to this team is cursed. Moser's getting fired right after this game. Ugh. Starting to feel that nausea kicking in. But cooler heads prevail. The Sooners make a couple of critical free throws, and they needed them because they held on for the 92-91 win. Ending that 9-game losing streak. Felt like that bad boy was going to extend to double digits. Also, Polar seltzer water. You can't see it because I'm at the stadium. There you go. If you're watching, we're listening. Delicious choice of beverage tonight. But back to the task at hand. Sooners end the 9-game losing streak. Big picture, think it's probably too late for Porter Moser there, especially when his style of coaching sadly is going out of style. He builds programs, and kids don't go to college to get coached up anymore. They go to get paid and get to the NBA. Kellen Sampson said it the other day. College basketball has become fully transactional. And that is not a model that is sustainable. So what does the future look like for college hoops? I am not sure. But at this point, it does not look good. For me, anyways. Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with it. But even with the future unclear, today was a win. And a win is a win, and you don't apologize for wins. And winning always beats losing, especially with the couple of losses the Sooners football team got recently. We found out that the NCAA has denied Owen Heinecke's petition for another year. And Jim Nagy was none too happy with the decision. And nobody was happy with this decision. It's a bunch of bull crap. Has there ever been a more feckless and irrelevant and antiquated organization than the NCAA? I don't know, man. These cats suck. They denied the petition. And Nagy went on to say, when other players are being granted 7 and 8 years of college football and the NCAA governing body has ruled Owen won't get a 4th year, it's a bunch of crap. Nagy didn't say the bunch of crap line. That was me. Evidently, the walk-ons, the 3 games of lacrosse at Ohio State in 2021 couldn't be reconciled. There will be an appeal, and if that appeal is denied, one lucky NFL team is going to get a stud 2-contract player, an even better human being. That part Nagy said too. Heinecke's been trying to get that eligibility from the NCAA since December, and you don't know where you're at in the line, and you don't know the reason. Seems like it's totally arbitrary system and technique and how they do everything. Heinecke played 3 lacrosse games for the Buckeyes in 2021 for a total of 15 minutes. And these jerks are calling that a full year of eligibility. It is a bunch of crap, especially with the ascension of Heinecke this year. Dude is getting primed. Another year of college football will help get him ready for the NFL. It doesn't make any sense. Like, if it made sense and they had good reasoning behind it and nobody was getting that extra time, I could see it, but that's not what the situation is. It's a bunch of crap, and these guys are making themselves, like I said, even more irrelevant. So it sounds like Heinecke could file a lawsuit seeking an injunction, temporary restraining order to get this 2026 season. He said his family has retained a lawyer to help navigate that. So we'll see what happens. Fortunately or unfortunately, he had a good showing at the Senior Bowl. So he's already on the eyes of NFL brass. But this dude wants to come back and play another year at Oklahoma. And I think that would only improve his draft stock, improve his earning potential. So hopefully he pursues this and gets to come back for another season. 15 minutes of lacrosse. They're calling a full season. What a joke. You can redshirt, and play 5 games, full games in football and get that. It's horse shit is what it is. And hopefully it works out in our favor. Hopefully it works out with Heinecke, whatever he ultimately decides to do. He will have a future in the NFL, but he could come back and be part of this special team and be a huge part of why the defense could be as good as it's going to be in 2026. So hopefully this works out. Unfortunately, more Sooners news in the form of Buzz killing. And this one we kind of expected. We saw that it was going to happen, but former OU assistant head coach for defense, co-defensive coordinator, pass defense, cornerbacks, and nickel backs coach. This is how you remind me. Jay Valai, ouch, was hired by the NFL. It's going to the Buffalo Bills. Goodbye, horses. That's a deep cut. Yeah, that's a total bummer to lose this cat. Everybody says great stuff about him. He'd been with the Sooners since 2022. Left Alabama to come, and we knew as a matter of time that this guy was going to move on, but he's had a huge part of helping BV rebuild this defense. And, that interception in the divisional round, Denver Broncos versus the Bills, or the non-call of pass interference on Brandon Cooks in the end zone in overtime. If we get one of those calls or the interception doesn't happen, Sean McDermott doesn't get fired, and Joe Brady is not the new Bills head coach, and Jay Valai is not going to the Buffalo Bills, but he is. And we're stoked for Coach Valai, and you never want to stand in the way of someone's progress. That's not what it's about. BV's definitely not about that, but it hurts to lose a coach and a recruiter of this level. But we're definitely wishing the best for him moving forward. Valai was a big part of getting and developing Eli Bowen, Cortland Guillory. So both studs, and Coach Valai will be missed. On the other hand, this will be a highly, highly coveted job with a tremendous amount of qualified applicants. Just mentioned Bowen and Guillory. Ton of talent ready there. A ton of depth for whoever lands that gig, but Coach V will definitely be missed. Damn, is there any good Sooners news out there? Why, yes, there is. I wouldn't do you guys dirty like that. Come on. I was just for the sake of being dramatic. There is plenty of good Sooner news afoot. It looks like Coach Valai's departure will not impact the commitment for 2026 cornerback LeBron Bauer or 2027 commit Mikhail McCreary. He says he's still locked in. Said it's still all love with Coach Valai, but I feel like everything is still strong with the whole staff, especially with Coach V. Sweet. That's good news. Although when we're a year out until the commits actually step on campus, I take it all with a grain of salt. But I like what the program's doing. I like the caliber of player they're getting, and I think that that's permeating through the high schools. They want to come be part of this defense. More change at the university. Last week, they named Roger Denny as the 12th VP for Intercollegiate Athletics Program and Director of I'm having trouble speaking tonight. Let's take that again. The University of Oklahoma named Roger Denny as its 12th Vice President for Intercollegiate Athletic Programs and Director of Athletics. Oh, AD. Yeah, I know. I went through all that crap for no reason. Denny, early on, corporate attorney, deep legal background, and had athletic leadership experience at the University of Illinois. Don't forget, Sooners also brought in Randall Stevenson, a CEO, former CEO of AT&T, who has served as chair and special advisor to the president for OU Athletics since 2024. He will remain in that position. Prez Harris said, college athletics is undergoing profound disruption that requires us to think well beyond conventional structures and roles. In Roger, we have the next natural leader who understands both the complexity of the moment and the opportunities it presents. It is clear Roger will advance the bold vision needed for OU to continue leading in a highly dynamic environment. Okay. Denny was selected following a huge search conducted by a 12-member committee of some of the biggest names surrounding OU and OU athletics. Denny succeeds Joe Castiglione, one of the nation's best to do it and one of the longest tenured ADs around. Under Joe C., OU earned 26 of the university's 45 national championships. Not too shabby. Denny said, Oklahoma has a proud tradition in college athletics, and I'm honored to join a university that competes with purpose and pride. My focus will be on putting student athletes first in everything we do, providing them the resources and support to excel in competition and in life. I look forward to working with Randall, our coaching staff, and the OU community to build on this legacy while winning national championships now and in the years ahead. I like that. Denny, extensive background in law, focused on executive compensation, tax, corporate finance, and licensing. Representing college athletic departments and sports businesses in a wide variety of critical complex transactions, including executive compensation and collective bargaining matters. His experience will be key in navigating coaching contracts, managing complex operations, identifying opportunities to expand student-athlete success in a disrupted college athletic landscape. More of that business know-how to the university. Denny spent the last few years at the University of Illinois. Since arriving in 2021 in Champaign in the Supernova, he contributed to one of the most dramatic turnaround stories in college athletics. As a sports administrator for the football program led by Brett Bielema, who's gotten gigantic. They've won 19 games the last 2 seasons. But here is the part you need to pay attention to. Illinois' 4-year growth in season ticket sales, student season tickets, geez, I cannot speak tonight, and average attendance is among the best in the country. In addition, this is some Illinois' men's basketball program has won 3 Big Ten titles in the last 5 years. And the women's program has undergone a national resurgence. Denny oversaw the athletic business operations at Illinois, including a $200 million budget. Played a central role in their NIL strategy, expanding opportunities for student athletes. increasingly involved in fundraising, played a pivotal role in securing $100 million gift in 2025, the largest in Illinois history. And he represented he was the representative in all the head coach negotiations. Very business and law savvy. You heard all the stuff there. Very like whatever you want to think about the Big 12, Brett Yormark has done a good job building that conference, creating opportunities on the business side from Rockefeller coming over. They're hoping Denny can have a similar impact. Lots of Sooners legends had a ton of great stuff to say about this cat. But what Sam Bradford said, who was on that 12-person committee, really caught my eye. He said, I'm excited to welcome Roger Denny to the University of Oklahoma. Roger brings a rare skill set with proven success in the legal world, in college athletics, and in navigating complex contract negotiations. In today's landscape, that kind of experience creates real opportunities for our student athletes. He approaches every challenge thoughtfully, with integrity, and a big picture perspective. And I'm confident he's going to make a meaningful impact at OU and help move the university forward. You guys see what's going on here? We got business guys and we got law guys. The role of AD is constantly changing and evolving. And I think the Sooners are ahead of the curve yet again with this hire. The type of AD, the background that they're bringing in from this guy. I think it's another win, and this hire comes just in time to help get that new arena and entertainment district built. That's a whole nother deal. But I think this guy is going to be a tremendous hire for the university. And you stack that with another tremendous hire for the university, Jim Nagy. Now, right from Jump Street, I've been saying this was a major get. There might not be a more connected person than Nagy when it comes to having a finger on the pulse and ties to NFL personnel. Now, don't forget, Jim Nagy brought the Senior Bowl back from the dead and turned it into the preeminent transfer portal for leading college football to the NFL. Nagy has a proven track record for identifying NFL talent, and that goes a long way when players entering the portal question why they should choose OU, or when high school players question why they should choose OU. Also said that Nagy and the Sooners were setting the trend for the future of college football. They were ahead of the curve in the transformation of how college football programs were going to be run in the future and how they were moving closer to and mirroring how NFL teams are run. We've seen the evolution of the program towards that NFL model. And now more teams will be starting to look at what and how Jim Nagy and the Sooners are running their programs. And they'll be looking to do the same thing. And I think this Denny hire continues moving the university in that direction. Bigger business than it's ever been. Maximizing those dollars. NIL, all of it. It's a big deal, people. And this Denny hire, even though I don't know much about him, I think it's good. And I know a bunch about Nagy, and I love that hire. And both of these together got me totally stoked. Stoke levels are rising, people. Speaking of Stoke levels rising, Sooners are reportedly hiring former NFL defensive lineman Deshaun Williams to its staff as a defensive analyst. Williams played college football at Clemson, playing the final 3 years of his career for Coach V when BV was the DC for Clemson. Went undrafted, but then signed with the Bengals, played a few years, bounced around, CFL, came back to the Broncos. More personnel on this coaching staff with NFL ties. Got rid of Joe John, brought in soon-to-be Hall of Famer Jason Witten. The kiddies like the NFL stuff. And this is another player with NFL ties. This is a win for the Sooners. Speaking of Sooner ties to the NFL, they're playing the Super Bowl tomorrow or whenever, depends when you're listening to this podcast. So if you don't listen tomorrow, this will be fun to listen to at the end anyways. Playing it in Santa Clara, San Francisco, basically. And for the 5th year in a row, the Super Bowl will feature an Oklahoma Sooner, Ramondre Stevenson, running back for the Patriots, putting together his best season so far. And even though they drafted Travion Henderson, Ramondre got a bigger piece of that role this year. And if the Patriots are going to win that game tomorrow, Ramondre will have to have a huge game and be a big part of that. Smooth out of the backfield. Had some fumble problems early on in his career, but looks like he's got that dialed in, and they are going to need a bunch out of him to help protect Drake May against that Seahawks defense and keep them out of long third downs where that Seattle defense really excels, man. They can just rush 4, and that is a brutal defense. Drake May's already been sacked 15 times in the playoffs, had some turnovers. So if they get behind, he cannot run the football. It could be a long day for Drake May. And you flip it over, that New England defense has been outstanding in the playoffs, creating a bunch of turnovers, really setting their offense up for success. And Sam Darnold, look at the draft class. Bake, Sam, Rosen, Deedle. Lamar, Josh Allen. Sam's the first QB to get to the Super Bowl. And even though I do not like USC, I'm a big Sam Darnold fan. He stuck with it. He got better, moved around, could have gotten his head, but he didn't. He turned it around, has played some pretty damn good football. And that team's very talented too. Obviously, JSN, one of the best young receivers in the league. Kenneth Walker III. They've got weapons there. Cooper Kupp coming over from the LA Rams. Had a slow start to the season, but the second half is really finding that chemistry with Sam. So it's going to be a sweet game. But back to the point, 5 years in a row, the Sooners are represented in the Super Bowl. Full disclosure, LSU has had at least one former player on a Super Bowl roster for 25 consecutive years. That is pretty good. But hey, 5 years isn't bad. That's a pretty good run. So we'll take what we can get. Speaking of the Super Bowl, if you're going to watch the Super Bowl and you're listening to this episode before the big game, head on over to footballdudes.com. We've got a kick-ass prop sheet there for you to download. You just click it, download it, bring it to your party. We've done all the work. You get to take all the credit, be the hero at your Super Bowl party, and maybe win a couple of bucks. How are you going to do that? With our awesome Football Dudes Super Bowl 60 prop sheet. 10 different props, pretty close to 50-50. Seems easy enough, right? Wrong. It's very challenging. but you can have that for free at footballdudes.com. And while you're out there surfing the interwebs, head on over to believe.com. That's BLEAV.com. Go to shows, type in Sooner State of Mind. That's Sooner State of Mind. And you are locked, my friends. We have a ton of great content. Every team, every topic, everywhere. Believe.com. And if you want to watch Sooner State of Mind, head on over to YouTube and search the Football Dudes. We are there. My name is Casey Mallon, and I am in a Sooner State of Mind.